Hello.
And to you, good day.
Good to you. Um, Going back to the questions about dreams.
Yes.
I've been experiencing very vivid dreams most of my life.
Yes.
Very picturesque, very much details, and I remember
All
them.
right. How exciting.
I know. I love it. I think that's great. Recently, I would say probably in the past couple of years, I've been experiencing very similar dreams, but there's always one particular, call it sidekick element, person, creature. I'm not really sure
Yes.
that. Whereas everything is clear, it's always very cloudy, very foggy.
Yes.
I feel connected to it. I
Yes.
feel a relationship with this particular
Yes.
creature.
Yes.
But I'm never able to visualize it. It will slowly let me see some parts of it, but I can
Yes.
never get a clear image of it.
And what makes you think there's something wrong with that process?
Well, I guess I don't think there's something wrong per se, but I'm just curious to maybe know, am I holding myself back
No.
in the understanding
No.
of it?
No.
Okay.
You're being given as much as is appropriate to give to you, as much as you need to know at any given moment. It'll keep going. It'll keep expanding. It'll get clearer. You have to trust the timing.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Yes?
Perfect. Makes sense.
Anything else?
Yeah, sure. As far as it kind of sparked my interest when you started talking about the Mayans and I guess previous
Maya.
culture, Maya. One of the questions I have is back in Italy, one of the major populations that is extinct now was the Etruscans.
Yes.
And there's in some of the I guess the records that we have, they do indicate interactions with extraterrestrials.
Yes. From time to time, they had them.
Okay, so I guess my question is, were they just exposed to extraterrestrials, or did they have any connections with it? Are they involved?
You all have connections, but yes, in terms of your classic idea of interactions in physical reality, now and then they experienced interactions and contact with different forms of extraterrestrials.
My next question is, before we fall asleep,
Yes.
can we ask to meet or together with the energy of our prior past lives? In other words, are there
They're
steps?
not prior. They exist right now, so of course you can connect.
Okay.
Everything exists right now. There's no such thing as the past. There's no such thing as the future. That's illusion. What you call past and future are simply different parallel realities that you consider to be the past or the future from your particular space-time perspective. But they all exist right now. That's why you can connect to them. If they actually were in the past, you'd never be able to do so.
Understood. And so that would tie in also with family members or friends that might have passed away.
Whomever.
Got it. Perfect. And then my next question is, if the goal is to raise or increase our vibration, will there ever come a time in this life, in which we can master the tuning of our frequencies, much like we would change the radio dial?
Yes.
Okay.
And many people on your planet can already do so. You already have certain kinds of teachers and masters who have that kind of control, do you not? Shamans and so on and so forth.
Okay. Yeah.
So yes, of course, the potential exists within all of you. And the secret is, you're all doing it all the time. It's not that you have to learn to do it. You have to learn to become more aware of the fact that you're already doing it. That's the secret.
Okay.
Because you're shifting billions of times per second through billions of parallel realities per second. So you're already changing completely, moment to moment to moment to moment to moment. All you have to do is let your mind catch up to the fact that that's already going on, and the world will explode before you into a magical experience.
Understood. Okay.
Does that help?
Yep, it does.
And
Thank you.
thank you. You're welcome.
Hello.
And to you, good day.
Thank you. I'd like your advice.
Oh, all right. The doctor is in.
Good. I grew up with not knowing who my parents were,
Oh, all right.
and I've recently found my mother.
Yes.
I'd like to find my father.
Go right ahead.
I'd like to know how to go about doing that.
Check the records of certain family organizations in your area called Wisconsin.
Okay.
See what happens.
All right.
See where that leads you.
Okay. I'll do that.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Happy hunting.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me this evening.
All right, and to you, good day.
Thank you. With having to do with dreams, for as long as I can remember, I'll wake up just really scared. Sometimes I'll be screaming or hyperventilating
How exciting for you.
just crying
Yes.
very scared. And
Do you feel out of control?
yes, and I won't even be able to remember at all what I've dreamt about.
Do you understand the idea of what we have termed the hybridization agenda?
Not really.
Do you understand the term alien abduction?
Yes.
You're part of it.
Can you explain more to me, like in what aspect?
Well, you have agreed on a certain level of spirituality to participate in the evolutionary program of the Earth, where beings from a parallel reality that you call the Greys will usually take people, such as yourself, aboard their ships and extract DNA material, genetic material, to create a hybrid species that will allow their particular culture to continue, because they pretty much destroyed their own culture and need viable human DNA to continue their society. They have created many forms of hybrids. You are part of that program in terms of donating your particular genetic material to the creation of many different forms of hybrid beings. But the idea is that this has been going on for quite some time, but you've never really been given the tools to understand that from another level you made an agreement to do this. And so anytime that these beings come and take you from where you are aboard their ships or shift you into a different reality, you feel out of control because you don't really know what's going on, or your physical mind is simply in the dark. But there's really nothing to be afraid of. You can actually ask for more awareness of what is going on so that you can have these experiences with more consciousness and on your own terms.
That actually reminded me of I was at the Contact in the Desert in Joshua Tree,
Yes.
and you had mentioned that because of the higher frequency levels that we might feel afraid.
Yes.
And I actually, right around the time, I believe it was like 12 or 1 o'clock, that you had said that to expect something.
Yes.
I became very afraid, just terrified, the most
Yes.
afraid I've ever been in my life. I just
Yes.
wanted to leave. I told my boyfriend, like, forget our stuff, just leave our stuff. We have to go. Like,
Yes.
And
This is one of the reasons why we don't have open contact with all of you yet. Because the idea is as follows. Now, certain beings this doesn't happen with. Especially doesn't really happen with the Greys exactly, although there's a form of it. Remember that your body has a form of its own consciousness. And one of the things that is very strong in the human body is the idea of a survival mechanism. The fight or flight mechanism. When it senses something that may be, in appearance, something that can threaten your survival. The energy of many extraterrestrial beings, including our own, is on a much, much higher frequency than yours, because many of you are compartmentalized, fragmented within your consciousness. You're not coherent, you're not integrated, so your frequency is relatively low compared to ours. When you believe or feel the greater field of energy that we possess coming into contact with your fragmented field, it tends to force certain things to the surface that you haven't integrated within yourself yet, and that can cause a fear, fight or flight reaction, a survival mode reaction in your body that makes you run.
Yeah, and it was strange. We just went like right down the street, like maybe not even a mile away from the actual campsite
Yes.
we were at, and then I felt much better, and
Yes.
it sounds strange, but I felt like I had a positive experience. I got a lot of information.
You did, especially knowing that energy showed you that you're still unconsciously holding on to certain ideas and definitions and beliefs that don't allow you to fully release and be yourself and be free to have the experience in a more positive way. So it's about examining the idea of what you're really afraid of and letting those things go so that you can be more of yourself and raise your frequency. Know that you're in control of this, know that you made an agreement, and that you can again participate in this on your own terms with more conscious control and awareness. But that process is going to take as long as you're willing to allow it to take. Yet again, you are willing to see that you have learned something. So that's a step in the positive direction.
Okay.
Yes?
Another thing, I used to be very confident in myself.
You're still
And-
confident. It's just that you're now confident about your lack of confidence. No, I'm serious. You cannot be not confident. That's not possible. You're always confident about something. It's just that now your belief systems are revealing themselves to show you that one of the things you are most confident about is that you lack confidence. But you're confident about that, so you don't lack confidence. There's the paradox for you to play with.
Thank you.
It's about learning to be confident in what you prefer. You don't have to learn to be confident. You're already confident. Just be confident in what you prefer to be confident about instead of what you don't prefer to be confident about, such as lacking confidence, which is not possible. There's no such thing as a lack of confidence. There's no such thing as a lack of trust. There's no such thing as a lack of control. Because when you experience being out of control, you're controlling that. When you feel like you don't trust, you trust that to be true.
Thank you. Okay, and then sorry to go back about Joshua Tree and I guess also the Greys that
Yes.
I had an idea about the Greys that just kind of had come to me at one
Yes.
point that
Yes.
in a parallel reality or what we
Yes.
would call the future, it was us, specifically our planet that we wanted to travel or whatever, and that's why, and we became kind of biomechanics, or we did something to
It's a
ourselves.
parallel Earth, and on that Earth, the advancements disconnected them in a mental way from their nature, and they destroyed their environment in the same similar way that you are destroying yours. They had to mutate themselves from human into gray in order to survive, but still realized they were going to die out if they didn't find a source of viable human DNA to continue their civilization by creating hybrids. So they used their advanced technology to tunnel through parallel realities such as yours to find DNA they could use to create hybrid beings like ourselves and others, so that they could not only continue their particular society, but so that we could also recognize the same patterns in your society and share this information with you so you don't have to walk down the same destructive path.
Okay, and then I don't know if it's related to that or the fact that you said that I've been abducted,
Yes,
but sometimes
that's just a word that a lot of you use.
I
You have simply been invited to participate.
I understand, but there's been circumstances where my boyfriend and I, and even at first he was like, where I felt like I'm being watched, and even where he
You are.
didn't necessarily believe me, and he's even seen things that
Yes.
have caused him to believe me.
Yes.
And so that is,
Yes?
all right.
All right.
Okay, I guess that's.
So now you know that's happening. So you can have more conscious awareness and more conscious control of your participation in it if you're willing to. But there's nothing to be afraid of.
Okay, and then this is the last thing.
Yes.
After Joshua Tree, for about 2 weeks after that late at night, I would hear a very, I can't describe it any other way than an alien noise. It's almost what you would expect to hear from a sci-fi movie, the noise that they play anyway, that I would hear that, and I would see a blue light, or a light that
Yes?
that's not coming from any source.
Yes.
And
Well, it
even
is
at
coming from a source. It's just that
a
it's coming
source
from
that
an
I can't
interdimensional source.
a source that I can't. Even at one point, I had woken up,
Yes.
and when I awoke, it was the best way I can describe it is the Agent Orange thing, where they have somebody's eyes pried open and they show all these pictures,
Yes.
and so that's the kind of what I experienced, just a bunch of pictures flashing in my head,
You
and
have
it ended.
been shown many pictures telepathically about the possibility of your world going down the same path as the Greys.
And it ended on I want to say a silhouette of a very tall, thin man, but what it was it was black, and the man was the light.
Yes, but you were looking at the mantis.
So it's a mantis.
What people on your planet refer to as the mantis beings are the ones in
Okay.
charge of the hybridization agenda over the Greys. They bear a resemblance to the praying mantis insect on your planet, so are basically very tall and thin.
Okay.
Now, do you understand? Do you understand that you have hybrid children?
Oh, I didn't before. I guess I do now that you've said that.
Oh, very good. But that's a story for another time for you. Right now, at this time, before you go to sleep, just take a few deep breaths and say, all right, I'm ready to understand my relationship with you, my agreement with you from a more conscious perspective, so I may participate on my own terms more openly, more clearly.
Okay.
All right? And see what happens. If you feel fear, that's all right. You can take it a step at a time and say, all right, wait a minute, let me get used to this, and then see if it passes. They will cooperate and they will work with you if you are willing to open up.
All right.
And you can do it in whatever way works for you. All right?
Okay.
Now,
Thank you.
one moment.
Okay.
What's your favorite scent?
Oh man. Tea tree.
Is that a guess?
Well, I like essential oils. Like I like a lot of scents. Like I can
Such
think
as?
of like a favorite perfume I have.
What would be the one that would allow you to feel calm?
Yeah, probably
At
lavender.
ease? All right. Then it would probably be helpful as a permission slip for you to have that scent prominent in your room when you go to sleep, when you're asking for more conscious participation, so that you will be more at ease, knowing that you are creating, with the lavender scent, the environment that you prefer in which that exchange and encounter can occur.
All right, thank you.
So you're bringing something to the party.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You're not arriving empty-handed and going, oh no, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yes? Bring something to the party. It will help.
Okay. Sorry. I know I said the last thing was the last thing, but this. An idea that I had on my own about why I was so fearful in my dream was about visiting alternate realities or alternate dimensions. And I thought, like, even one time I woke up and I had said, without even realizing what I was saying, hold on, I have to finish coming back into this reality because people were talking to me.
Yes.
So,
Because you are shifted to other realities in many of those encounters.
oh, okay, wow. All
So
right.
don't worry, you won't get stuck.
All right.
You'll find your way back no matter what.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Tadeo.
Hello, Nania.
No, somebody just asked me a question here, so I think it's time for me to ask you stream questions.
All right.
So, the first question has to do with a person's dreaming. In fact, there's a lot of questions about dreams, so I'll
how
share some of those
synchronous.
with you. I often go into a dream space that feels like a lower astral gray ghetto, like environment.
Like I said, there is a lower astral realm that's very close to physical reality that can have a little bit of that feeling to it, which is why a lot of the idea of beings that are acting as quote unquote ghosts or hauntings occupy that level. It is somewhat colorless, yes, because it's kind of a limbo state where they sometimes don't even know that they're dead, don't know what to do, don't know where to go, maybe caught up in certain belief systems that are negative, maybe working certain things out on that state. So yes, it does have kind of a gray pallor to it from time to time.
And he says that he has a feeling of a mission to get to a specific place to deliver something or find someone.
Yes.
And then he wakes up feeling quite heavy from these dreams.
Yes.
How is this different than the lower astral creation space you mentioned earlier?
Well,
That's what
as I
you
said,
just
it's not different. But the idea is that you may be searching for a friend who may be a little bit lost in that particular realm, attempting to help them. But because you're taking on some of that vibration and it's so close to the physical reality, when you reconnect with physical reality, it can be like sort of bringing back extra energy that converts into mass, sort of, more densely, and that's why you feel heavy for a while, until you let it go back to the lower astral.
Thank you.
Yes.
And then this one is, when you're in deep meditation, can you experience dream world, or is it
You can.
kind of
You
the
can have
same thing
glimpses.
as,
You can have glimpses of it, yes.
Is it the same thing as lucid dreaming?
It can be, but not always.
Like, what's the difference between astral projection and lucid dreaming?
Well, astral projection can be the result of lucid dreaming, which is simply another way of saying you understand that you're creating the dream, you're awake in the dream, and therefore can do what you wish. You can control what's going on. You can realize that you might be, classically speaking, out of your body, and therefore begin an astral journey. So lucid dreaming can be a step towards allowing you to have an experience of astral projection.
And do people visit other lifetimes in their dreams?
Oh, absolutely. But again, remember, all lives exist simultaneously. But yes, you can do that. You can have that experience. Absolutely.
What about if someone's dreaming about tsunamis?
What about it?
Does that mean it's a prediction of the future?
Not necessarily. Remember, there's no such thing. There's only a sensing of the energy that exists at the moment the prediction is made, but they may be sensing a reality with a high degree of probability behind it, or they may be sensing a reality that is representative of a fear they may have from the physical level, and by sensing that and seeing what the probability is, then it's possible they may also engineer to change that particular outcome. So it just depends on what they do with that information.
And isn't water also sort of a symbol of emotionality?
It can be. So again, you have to take this on a person-by-person basis. You can't overgeneralize.
So the key is to pay attention to what's relevant for
Yes.
you as a person.
Yes.
Like maybe it is the idea of being overwhelmed by emotionality.
It could be.
Or it could be a prediction of the future.
It
It doesn't exist.
It could be. You have to make that determination based on what it is you learn about yourself from that dream experience and how honest you are about digging into what you believe to be true about yourself.
So sometimes it's a good idea to, when you wake up in the morning, to just stay with the dream.
Absolutely. Give yourself that moment. Give yourself a few moments. Let it come back. Explore it. Find out what it means to you. Find out how it makes you feel about yourself. Find out that you might learn something about yourself by having had that experience. Yes.
The heaviness that I think other people also have said that they feel like sometimes you can wake up in the morning and you feel so heavy, like you.
And sometimes that's the difference between the idea of physical reality and the idea of being non-physical. Physical reality can feel heavy by comparison to being in the astral form because it is a denser vibration. So the heaviness can come from that too.
So is it easier to learn in the dream world?
Depends.
Because one person was saying they would really like to be able to levitate things, and that they've been pretty successful at it in the dream world.
All right. Well, again, remember, the key to levitation in physical reality is to begin with lightening up.
I think that message was received.
There is, in many forms of art on your planet, since it comes through the imagination from the higher mind, much information that answers a lot of these questions. And as we have said previously, and especially with regard to that particular question, you have a particular film on your planet that you know as The Matrix. And in The Matrix, there is one particular line that answers that question definitively. It goes, even though the question is about levitation, to also the idea of making material objects seem to be manipulated by your mind. Spoon bending. And in that movie, the answer is clear. The only way you can do it is to understand there is no spoon. That it's just a projection of your consciousness. So the idea of an object being located on the ground, and then the idea of that object being located above the ground, is just a matter of understanding there is no object. And therefore the idea of whether it's here or there or here or there or disappears from there and reappears there or floats above the ground is all about understanding that you are creating the concept of physical space and time, and that it's all about resonance, and that there's a different resonance here than there is here. So when you begin to understand that you're just changing the frequency of something to exist in a different frame of reference within a projection of consciousness that you're creating anyway, that isn't real unto itself, then levitation will be something that's normal and natural. Because you're just redefining its location in space and time.
Is your ability to be able to, say, jump from reality to reality in such a drastic way, that would be dependent on relevance in terms of the theme you're exploring?
Of course, it's always dependent upon whether that experience is relevant for you.
So that's why we're not all just popping in and out.
Well, you
all
are
over the
popping in
place.
and
I
out,
know.
but that's why not all of you have to realize it to the same degree.
Right.
Because yes, it has to do with relevance. Some things like that may sound exciting, but they simply may not be relevant for your life theme, at least not at this point. If they are relevant, and you are being yourself as best as you can be, then nothing will stop you from having the experience, because things will naturally unfold in that direction. They will take you there. Remember, your current knows where you need to go. So if you just live your life and follow your passion to the best you can, following the formula, then if the idea of levitating something is relevant for you, nothing will stop it from happening. The only thing that stops appointments you've made and agreements you've made is spending your time and energy worrying that the appointments and the agreements won't happen. So don't do that.
So when a person has a desire to do something that's well outside of what most human beings will do in this reality.
Again, it goes back to the idea of why does your passion come in that form? Never assume that the idea of the form it comes in has to come to fruition to give you the lesson you need. If it is going to come in that form, it will come. But never insist that it must. Otherwise, you're missing the point of why it came to you, because it may have come to you in that form for a completely different reason. Going back full circle, even to the idea that suddenly being excited about levitating or levitating something may simply be synchronicity's way of actually telling you to lighten up. And it may be no more mysterious than that.
So it really is. It's so much about reading the messages that are sent to you by yourself and being able to respond to them in a way that shows you comprehend what's being given to you.
And one of the easiest ways to do that is to let go of the idea that you know what it is the outcome should be. Let go of the ego's wants and open your arms to what you need. What you need will always come and will always fulfill you if you let it. It will always fulfill you. Always. So, does that help?
Yes. And then a person they've been talking about having dreams with you.
Yes.
So
Sometimes it will be their own higher mind taking on the form of us because they're familiar with us, and it makes it easier for them to have a conversation thinking that it's us. We are always happy to be used as a simulacrum. This is one of the reasons why we have these conversations, so that you get familiar with our vibration and can use this as a permission slip, so that it's more easy for you in your belief system to talk to your higher mind thinking that you're talking to us. We're sneaky that way.
this person said, after a dream of shaking Bashar's hand last year,
Yes.
I had a dream and saw rainbow DNA across the sky in my backyard next to a metallic round spaceship.
How
What
exciting.
does this mean?
It means you saw an energy field that was generated by a portal that you had the senses to perceive, and that you also saw a ship that was there all the time but was heretofore invisible to your senses until you upgraded them. And that the DNA symbol shows your connection to the beings on the ship.
Here's another one where someone had a dream where I was attending your upcoming event about 2020, and you came up to my seat and told me it was very important that I have an energetic release in 2020. Was that really you?
In that particular case, it was a part of us. Not all of us, but a part of us.
If we avoid dealing with trauma that happens in childhood, does that hold us back from having contact or more contact? Or the kind of contact that it ends up
It could.
leading to?
It could, because what you're simply saying is you're avoiding looking at the idea of fear-based belief systems that you have bought into. So it could.
Okay. And then finally, many of us here are also artists and would
Yes.
love to see your sculptures on Essassani. Could you plan with some mass exposition to see your artworks, taking us all, taking us, we the bald and curious ones, on a mass ride to your planet in the dream state?
Yes, that can be done, and from time to time actually has already been done with some individuals. At the same time, it can be that at some point in the years to come, representations of some of the sculptures can be, at least in some form, recreated on your planet so that you at least have an idea of what it is we're creating on ours.
Sounds wonderful.
Yes. Anything else?
So,
Because it's about time for your break and your holotope experience.
okay.
So, at this time, enjoy a short break. We will resume this transmission to crystallize in the idea of your ability to more consciously visit the dream world with your holotope experience as the transmission continues.